Hope you're doing good tonight out there. We are going to be working on a stage one, sort of a basic tuning build here for this lovely little Toyota Celica. And then we're going to go into the livery editor. We can put some wheels on, do some paint, maybe a couple decals, and we can kind of take a look around in there and see what we can do to take this 100% bone stock refrigerator white Celica and turn it into more of a high performance street car, maybe with track day intentions on the weekend. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out of the garage and we're going to head over here to the tuning shop, see what's going on in here. Again, we're looking at a kind of a stage one, so to me I always like to prioritize lightweight. And we'll go ahead and we're going to throw on some sports soft tires. That seems like a good choice for a good little street build here. And we've got all-wheel drive with this thing. I'm not going to really worry about putting the power down right now. But what I want to do is I want to get a semi-racing muffler, a couple more ponies, and it'll look cooler in the back of the car when we're working on it. Now I like the height adjustable sport suspension, that's my minimum suspension I like to use. I do like to be able to lower my cars for a couple different reasons, which should be pretty obvious. Lower center of gravity, it looks cooler, takes the fender well gap out and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a racing air filter. And then I honestly like these carbon brakes the best, but that's not really like a stage one build at all here. So we're going to go with this sports brake kit, sports brake pads. And so we've got a couple more ponies, a little better braking, a little bit lighter weight, a little bit better of tires. Maybe we'll go with a sports cut, let us shift a little bit quicker, put the power down a little bit more efficiently there. So I'm going to say we're probably good on this stuff, unless we want to go ahead and maybe go from a 2 liter to a 2.5 liter 2.0. We don't need to do that right now. Okay, so we'll get out of the tuning shop. We've got a basic stage 1 build. We've got our engine breathing better. We've got our weight down. We've got suspension, better tires, and better brakes. Got all the bases covered a little bit here. Now the thing with this Toyota Celica is it's a used car. It's a 94. So it does have, I looked before I started, this car had 47,000 miles on it or something. So even though this says the oil's in excellent shape, I'm going to go ahead and give it an oil change. I tend to think that the game prefers fresh oil if we're trying to meter out every little tiny advantage we can get. Why wouldn't we want to have fresh oil? It's 300 credits. It's almost nothing. We're not going to do a car wash right now. We don't need any of this stuff. I'm going to do another video on wide body, and that's not what we're doing here for a stage 1 build. So we're going to go into car customization. This is the fun stuff. So the first thing we want to look at is wheels. Now, some cars I really do like the stock factory wheels. You can just put a different color on them or leave them stock and they look pretty cool. These ones I'm not a huge fan of. Now, one consideration with wheels is, this is a street car. It's not going to have center lock wheels. It's going to have lug nuts on it. It's not going to have a center lock like this or like that. Okay, it's going to have lug nuts. Now, I do know these are a 5-lug car, so we do want to choose a 5-lug wheel. A 4-lug wheel would look out of place if somebody knows what they're looking for. So we can just pick any of these 5-lug wheels that we kind of think might be a good fit. Kind of like these gold Ankeys. I'm going to buy those. And I'm going to go maybe for a 17, sort of a street-looking build. I don't know if we can get away with that without the wide body, but we're going to give it a try. Now I've got some nice looking Enkey wheels on there. So one thing that I like to do is if I want to change the color of my car, I want to get in here and buy some paint, but I want to buy paint that's from that manufacturer, because factory colors and factory parts and everything are just kind of the way I like to do stuff if I can. So does Toyota have any cool colors that might look good on this Celica? I know for a fact Spark Red does. I already have that color. It looks good on that car. Now, when we're in here purchasing paint, and this applies to all of these different categories, all these different paints. So say we want to come in here and we want to look at some candy metallic. Say we kind of G4 kind of catches our fancy. We can look at it on a couple different cars. The Supra, the Delta, and the Beetle. So, which seems a little weird. Those aren't the only cars we're going to be driving. We can't look at this paint on the car in question that we have in our possession right now that we're working on. But the flip side is, if we find a color that we like and we purchase that color, we own that color to use on any car. So I might want to come in here and get I don't know, kind of a green metallic. Now I own that color and I can use it on any car. So, but what I'm concerned about with this one is real car paint. And again, I want to come in here and look at some Toyota paint colors. So I'm going to search out Toyota. And I'm thinking for this Celica, maybe what does this car want? So I think for this car I want to do kind of a brighter trim, a brighter paint with black trim. So what do we have here? These Toyota colors. There's a lot of silvers and whites. Maybe we want to do this. Let's try this bright blue. There we go. That's probably look pretty good on a 94 Celica. So we're back out of the paint thing. Okay, we just bought it. Now we're going to come in here to custom parts. With a lot of cars, there's a couple different options. There's sort of a mild one and a more aggressive one, and that's the case here. So for this, again, kind of a stage 1, we're going to do something like that. I've already built one of these cars. I already own these parts, so we're going to do something like this. And on the sides can be the same thing. A little less aggressive, a little more aggressive. Something like this for a street car. On the rear, yeah, we're going to go something like that, much more of a street car kind of look. And on the back for the wing, I'm going to go something like this. See, this is a nice looking, sleek, stage 1 type of a build. It definitely has more aggressiveness and style than the stock Celica body style does. And here we can make even more changes and get a little bit more racing style, kind of more speed style out of it. So we've got these hood pins. For this build, I wouldn't use them. Just for a stage 1 street car, I wouldn't do that. I don't think a tow hook is really appropriate for this type of a build either. A roll cage is more like a, stage 2, stage 3 type of a build, racing modification type of build. We're not doing that. Other parts, personally for me, I like to use these daylight color of bulbs. They're not too blue, they're not too yellowish. See, that's kind of got a little bit of a pink hue to it. I'm not really a fan of that kind of pinkish orangey looking hue. This yellow has got kind of a European cool look. Sometimes you'll see that on GT cars, generally not on street cars. One thing I wish we could do is get yellow fog lights when cars have fog lights on them. And to me, these lights are a little bit too bright whitish blue, type of a bluish white. They're not really my favorite. So all of my cars get daylight light bulbs on them. License plate. I really like the look of just having a rear license plate, no front. This is a street car, um, but it's also for track days. So maybe we're on our way to a track day. We took the license plate off, you know? Now, we're going to go into the livery editor. So here's where we are going to go ahead and create a design. And here we go. So right now it's putting the car into the livery editor. And now I'm just going to walk through what these different things do real quick. So preview, so if you click on preview, now when I'm working on these, you always remember R1 is what locks your camera. So you hold R1 and then your right thumbstick, your right thumb, can move your camera all around. R1 locks your camera in, so you can move your camera. R2 and L2, while you're doing that, you can zoom in and out. Zoom in and out and get a good look at something. Okay, so this is also just a good place to check stuff out. Now if you hit triangle, you can choose, do I want a clear background, which is a clear sky, sunny background, which is also kind of cloudy, it's a little bit ironic, or cloudy, or if you want a white, pure white design background, black. I really like to work in this type of space because generally you're racing out in the sun. And that is a consideration to make when you go to choose a color, is what are you going to be using the car for? Are you racing at night, racing during the day? Now see, if I do this, if I paint this car, whatever designs it had on it might go away and I might not be able to get those back. I'm comfortable with that for now. Not a big deal. I can live with that. So I'm going to hit paint all, which means I'm going to be painting the entire car, whichever color I want to use. So now this is the color palette are the colors that are built into the game. So these are some of my favorites. I've got this sort of army green. I've got this rich kind of teal blue, a couple different colors, orange, sky blue. These are some of my favorites that I use over and over. Here's all these built-in colors we can use. A lot of good colors in here. A lot of good stuff in here. And so say we pick a random color in here. Say we pick something like just this red color. Okay, Celicas look good in red. We know that. And we're going to come in here and we can choose solid. Again, I'm going to hit my camera, my R1 for my camera, R2 to zoom in so I can look at this a little closer. Show you a little closer. Solid paint, just got a little more depth, a little more body to it. Metallic's got a little more depth and body. Solid, metallic. Pearl's pretty similar to metallic. Pearl has a little bit of more of a sheen, but a little bit less of a shimmer, I guess. I like solid paints for most stuff. And then what we can do in here is we can take, oh, we want the hood to be a different color? Oh, cool. Well, we can come in here and we can get some black. We want the hood to be black. And then click OK. That locks that in. You know, that's pretty easy. That's pretty good on a street build. You know? So here's where we're at so far. We've gone from just a bone stock 94 Celica. We've got some upgraded engine parts, upgraded suspension and brakes, some nice wheels on it, some little upgraded aero parts, and this is where we stand right now. So I'm going to come back to decals. But so race options. We're not going to put a racing sticker on, racing number on the door of this thing. This is just a street car. We're not throwing that on there right now. A windshield banner. I do like to have. I'm going to leave it just blank for now. I think, you know, maybe we put Enki on there to represent our wheels, or it says Toyota or Celica or something. Here you can put your driver name. Sometimes it's above the door, sometimes it's in a different spot. These do look cool. These are kind of fun to have. I generally don't do them because I want people to use my liveries in their game in their races, and I don't want my name on their cars. That doesn't really seem right. I don't think that's really fair. So I always leave mine blank because I know other people are going to use my liveries. This one we can't do that. Some of the GT cars you can change the light colors, the headlights from clear to yellow, to signify the change from a GT3 to a GT4 car, so those two classes can tell each other apart a little bit easier, especially when they're racing at night. Doesn't apply here. This is one thing I do miss from GT Sport, was the ability to put tire stickers on street cars. GT7, for some reason, they took that away, and only race cars we can put and change tire stickers. That's a little bit of a bummer, but you know, we can live with it. So here we are with this car right now as it sits. We're looking at a pretty clean, decent looking stage 1 build. I think I am going to get into some different paint colors though, because one of my favorite things about this is all of these built-in paints that are, you know, manufacturer paints. They're built in. They've got these carbon fiber paints and all these different things, and these ones, you know, they do cost credits every time, but like I said before, once you own them, and you can put them on any car. So I'm going to do a separate video on these carbon fiber paints here, and what you can do with them, what you can't do with them, and different, you know, kind of different facets of that. So for right now, we are just looking in my special paint and trying to pick a good color for our stage 1 Celica build. We probably are not going to do chrome, but maybe this metallic green that I just bought would look pretty nice. That's a nice looking color. I haven't used that for anything. I've got a whole bunch of different color shift paints in here. You know, and this is, like I said, this is kind of a big part of the fun of this game, I think, for a lot of people, is messing around with this kind of stuff. So anyway, I know I have a few different Toyota colors. I know that this spark red looks good on these Celicas. That's the color I had on my other one for quite a while. And what else? Other Toyota colors did we might want to try on here? You know, here's another green that would look nice. Some Mexico blue. There's just a lot of color. Ooh, I actually kind of like that. That looks nice on there. Blue. There's just so many good colors, so many things to try in here, you know. I think I might circle back to this Toyota bright blue. It's really bright. I kind of like it though. I think it will contrast nicely with a little bit of black. Okay, so now we've got this Toyota bright blue paint on here. Now I liked the black hood, but what could be better than that? Maybe just a satin black hood. So the darkest satin black we can get, I think, is called K3 satin. And see, that's got a different sheen. See, here's a half matte. It looks less black, actually, than the satin. And the matte looks actually less black. Satin is my favorite for this kind of stuff. And then also, maybe I want to take those wheels and I want to paint those black satin. K3 satin. See, there we go. Now we've got something here. I mean, that looks like a stage 1 Celica type of build. So then we're going to get into our decals. Now, the thing about the decal editor here, there's a lot you can do with this, so I'm just going to try to walk through it real quick. So we've got the main body of the car, body 2. Most cars, that is the hood. Sometimes that means a different section of the car. Side mirrors, the rear wing, and we've got the windows. This is the first Gran Turismo where we can add decals to the windows, which is kind of cool. The windows here, windshield banner, we can add things to that. Now other is an interesting one. I might do a separate video just on that, because there's a lot you can do with it. So, but I think what I'm going to do to start, I'm going to add a decal to the body. Now, where do I want to put it? That's the question. Select camera. Okay. I usually work on the left side of the car first. Just the way that this thing's set up, it puts it on the sunny side. This is obviously, the other side's the shady side of the car. It's not as easy to work with. You just can't see it as well. So anyway, I usually start with the left side of the car. This is a Celica. It's a basic build. I did put N-key wheels on it, so I think what I'll do, I'm going to come in here and look at these decals. I think I'm going to do a separate video on content searching for decals and finding decals that other people have made. For right now, I'm going to stick with these preset decals that are in here. So I know I was hoping to get an N key something or other on here, because we put the N key wheels on there, and look what I did. Here's an N key decal right here. Kind of look pretty cool. And it's even blue, so maybe we want to put that at the bottom of the door here a little bit. Now, one thing we'll notice is that a lot of body lines on these cars are kind of angled towards the front a little bit. See the line across the bottom of the car, across here, isn't really level. So in order to set these decals up, yeah, that's going to go right there. Right, what we sometimes need to do is to rotate them a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're zoom in a little bit better. See, that's looking pretty sharp. We'll zoom in a little bit better. And then we're going to hit L2 just to touch. We're going to take our R1 finger off of our camera button, and we're going to hit L2 just to touch to rotate. See, we just R2 to bring it. We went too far. We want to get that 359 degrees. So it's just got a touch of a rotate. Now, I'm using my right thumbstick to control the size of the decal. Okay, so I'm moving to the left, it makes it smaller. Moving to the right makes it a little bigger. Okay, that's my right thumbstick. My left thumbstick moves the decal around. It's a little bit like Call of Duty or something where, your one joystick controls your moving, your motion, your legs. Your other joystick controls your looking, your eyes looking around. So it's just something you're going to have to get used to when you're doing this stuff. So here I'm put my R1. Now I've got my camera back, so this is something I do all the time, is to just move and look at stuff from different angles. So now I like where that N key decal is right there. So now I'm just going to lock it in. Now, before I finish editing it, I got to remember, do I want to put another one on the other side just like it? Of course I do. So here's where we get into this. Layer controls. Click, duplicate on opposite side. Boom. It put it in the exact same spot on the other side, and it flipped it around so you can read it. Okay, so what are we looking like so far? It's looking pretty sharp. I think that blue paint is pretty bright, but I think it's pretty cool. I don't think it's too bad. So maybe we want to put another little sponsored decal across the bottom of there. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe not N key. And these are alphabetical, right? So we don't want to just add random stuff from just the A through E, or that'd be a little bit, we don't want to get away from ourselves there. So let's go to the next category. Like, we've got N key wheels. Maybe this driver likes, maybe they've got a K&N air filter on there, so maybe we want to put a little K&N on there, a little sponsor logo. And again, we're going to take and we're going to hit our L2 just a touch and get that down 359 degrees. And we're using our thumbsticks to control the size and the movement of the decal. That's all in the right and left thumbsticks. Okay, so we've got a K&N there. Maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gotta let air into that turbo. You gotta let it breathe. Alright. And then we're gonna go again. Duplicate on opposite side. And see, so now we're starting to build something up here a little bit. Alright. I don't think I'm gonna put any decals on the hood. This is just a basic type of build here. And matter of fact, I think I might paint the hood back to this blue paint so it all matches again. It's a little more of a basic kind of streetcar type look. Okay, now maybe we want to come back here to our livery editor again and get back into our decals. Maybe we do want to put a little windshield banner on here, you know. And maybe we want it to say Toyota. Let's see what we can find. Oh, look, we've got a Toyota decal right here. Oh, I think with our blue paint, I think that this would actually look pretty good. So now we're going to do the same thing. Edit decal. And we're going to use our right thumbstick to scale up the size of the decal. Here we don't need to move it because it's already centered. See, if we go too big, it'll black it out. Because the space is there's only so much space. So we do something like that. Again, R1 controls the camera. L2, L2, and R2 zoom it in and out so you can see what you're doing. I like that. It's a pretty nice looking clean sort of little street build here. You know, we've saved up. We've been eating beans and rice, and we've saved up, and we bought some nice NQ wheels and stuff. And you know, our car's looking pretty sharp. So I do think I want to put. Look at that muffler on there, man. I hope we're making some power. I think that's looking pretty good for what we're wanting to do here. One thing I do like to do is I like to put on these types of builds is I'll get into the back window, like the passenger window there. Sidetrack. You'll notice I have a couple decals with a little pin at the top. Now, ones that I like to use pretty consistently, I like to do that with. So, see, here's this Hello one. I use this quite a bit, so I came down here and hit triangle, and now it saves that up at the top. So if I back out of here, and then I come back, that Hello one's at the top now. So next time I come back, it'll be sitting there. So, but anyway, back to I like to put the Gran Turismo decal on the window. Where is it? Back here. Oh, I thought I got a white one. Why is it black? Well, there we go. Another point about the decals. You can change the color of some decals, but not all. And how you do that is with this little paint can right here. So I think with this one, I mean, I could try to match that blue, and that's pretty close. I think I'm just going to make it white. It stands out better on the window. So now, I'm going to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. And I want this just a little bit at 359 degrees, touch of an angle so everything blends in right. Get this back in the corner back here. There we go. That looks like a nice something you might have on your streetcar. I like Gran Turismo. I like it. I just drive around with a sticker on my one. There we go. Okay, boom. Boom. Duplicate on opposite side. Boom. And what do we think about that? We've got a real basic stage 1 Celica street build. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to call it stage 1 Celica. I'm just going to save it, just like that. So that's saved. Now, if I want to make any changes to this, all I have to do is hit overwrite. and it'll keep it. This is called, so this design, see up here, this design is called Stage 1 Celica. If I need to change anything, I can hit overwrite and it'll save it, and it'll still be called that. It'll still be called the same thing. So that's what allows a design to sort of evolve a little bit, is the fact that you can overwrite as you go instead of having to save new designs if you make a change, right? So now if you do want to make a whole new one, you can hit save as and give it a different name and save it again, right? So but I digress. So here now what we've got is a good stage 1 Celica build. We're at almost 550 performance points, and we're looking, a lot better than a stock car. So I'm going to hit close, apply save livery. If you were just in here working on a project and you wanted, to go race your car and not have that, or you didn't want that livery to be applied, you would obviously click no. That's not what I'm doing here, so I'm going to click yes. So now that when we exit the livery editor and we come back into GT Auto, this livery will be applied to the car. And then now we have a nice stage 1 Celica build. Now I think I will go ahead and I'm going to save this style. I'm going to call it stage 1 Celica. Save it. And what I'm doing is I'm going to save it so that you guys, or just anyone, can come back in there, and now this is a blank slate that they can come in, change the paint color, they can add different decals, they can do whatever they want, but now at least they've got something that's kind of got a little bit of a start already made. Go ahead and share it. This one I'm going to leave can be edited. I'm just going to say, please enjoy and thanks for looking. I'm going to tag it blank slate. A. Okay. I'm going to tag it stage 1. And I'm going to tag it too spicy. My name on here I made up just randomly, was Nacho Supreme, and so I do like spicy stuff, spicy nachos. So and I like Nacho Supreme. So anyway, I just like to put too spicy on here. It kind of ties, most of my stuff has that tag on it. So if you're looking to find my stuff, search too spicy in game. So that pretty much wraps up my tutorial on the stage 1 build of a Toyota Celica, and just kind of a quick walkthrough of the livery editor and how to save everything, and so you can take it out into the world and do some racing. So I hope you all have enjoyed this. I will be making more videos similar to this. Let me know if you have any certain design questions that you would like me to look at, and I will do my best. Alright, thanks guys. This is Matt, aka Nacho Supreme, and keep it shiny side up.